Hello, my name is Brad Caffey, and I'll be your fearless leader, or rather instructor, for Intro to Western Civilization until 1500 CE. You may refer to me as either Brad or Mr. Caffey in emails, and make sure that you check your emails regularly, especially on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, since those are the days I'll most likely send you messages. And make sure that you have familiarized yourselves with the syllabus by the end of the first week. I really get tired of telling people it's in the syllabus. So make sure that you're familiar with the syllabus. Be mindful that the first three assignments are due for completion rather quickly. The first quiz and the first chat room are coming up soon. And not too long after those, the preliminary bibliography and prospectus is due. Look for details regarding those assignments in the syllabus and also in the modules. As an introductory course, the information in this class will probably be about 75% review for the majority of you, or at least that's what I expect considering that this is a Western civilization class. But hopefully at least 25% will be new information. And even regarding some of the information that you've heard before, this will be a helpful review with any luck. As with any history course worth its salt, this course will have a decent amount of reading and writing involved within it. There is the general reader that I've assigned by Salisbury and Sherman, and there will be 3 to 4 academic, peer-reviewed academic articles that I'll assign connected to academic class discussions throughout the class. And finally, there is a 10-page research essay due towards the end of the semester, which will require students to obtain and read at least 3 written works. Those 3 written works must either be monograph books or peer-reviewed academic journal articles. Students may use more than 3 sources. However, if students use more than 3 sources, those 2 must be either monographic books or peer-reviewed academic journal articles. Students may also use primary sources if they go beyond the initial 3 sources used. Now, I've used a very interesting term there, primary source. Well, what's a primary source? Primary sources are sources produced by people living through historical events, or at least people who were contemporary to historical events. For example, Julius Caesar writing about his command in Gaul. In fact, we still do have his writings about his command in Gaul. That would be a primary source regarding the history of Gaul during the time of Julius Caesar. Some students will ask me why we have them do research papers in a history course. Well, the purpose of the research paper is to get students to actually do history. History actually comes from a Greek word meaning inquiry. And in the strictest academic sense, history is research and interpretation of the written record, historical written record. Notice what I say there, historical record, record that is produced by history. History itself is an activity involving research and interpretation, critical interpretation of that which has been written. And historians who are obsessed with the written record, they will tend to focus on both primary sources, which I've already explained, and secondary sources. Well, if primary sources were produced by those who experienced the historical events that are being researched, or that were at least contemporaries of said historical events, then secondary sources are sources produced by those who are not contemporary to historical events. So the works of later historians, for example, would be secondary source material. Historians will generally use both to produce yet newer secondary sources. academic journal articles, for example, new monograph books, research papers are produced in this way. If anyone has any questions having to do with the research paper, things that I've perhaps not mentioned in the syllabus or the tips on writing document, feel free to ask me. Just shoot me an email and we'll have some discourse. Lastly, a few words on what I'll actually cover in this course. I can't cover everything. And so I and the book will accentuate each the other in terms of the information that is offered. The quizzes in this course will cover information both delivered by me as well as the readings. Be aware of that going in. Until next time, goodbye.